Welcome back. In this video, we are going to see the second approach to create a thread. We have seen already there are two ways by which we can create thread. One is by implementing the interface called runnable, and the second way is by extending the class called thread class. So please do remember there are two ways by which we can create multiple threads. So one is by implementing the interface called runnable. Second way is by extending the class called thread class. So in this video, we are going to see a little detail about the second approach, which is nothing but how we are going to see how we can create a thread by extending a class called thread class. So as I told, the thread itself is a class. So when it is a class obviously which is going to provide different constructors and method to create and perform operations on thread. Otherwise we need not to use it, right? So we know that there is a class called thread, and if it is a class obviously it has got many methods and constructors, so we should know when to use what. So before we see how we can create thread, let us see what are the important constructors related with the class called thread. So it has got three important constructors. One is thread, which does not take any parameter. Second one is thread, which takes a single parameter, and the parameter is of type string. And third constructor takes again a single parameter, but that should be of type interface runnable. So please do remember this. The last constructor takes two parameters. The first parameter is of type runnable, and second one is of type string. So let me make it clear. The class called thread has got four important constructors. One, the first one does not take any parameter. The second one takes a single parameter and which is of type string. The third takes one parameter which is of type runnable, and fourth one takes two parameters. One is of type runnable interface and second is of type string. Right? Now, so we are going to see what are the important methods in the class called thread class. We know what are there in the class called thread, so we can make use of it. So as we have seen in the previous video, the thread class have got few methods, very important method. One is the run method. So this is actually perform the actual action of a thread. So what you do right inside the run is going to be the part of the thread, and there is an important method called start. The start or the start method starts the execution of a thread, which in turn calls the run method. Nowhere, in no place, you can find a call to the run method, which is going to be taken care by the method called start. Then we have a method called sleep. Sleep is going to pause or suspend the execution for number of milliseconds. So normally this is going to be of type millisecond or number of millisecond. So whatever the number you are going to mention it, those many milliseconds, the thread is going to pause or which is going to suspend its execution. Then as I told, there is another method called join. So which wait for a thread to die. Think that instead of the main method, you are writing it as join method. So what this is going to do, your main method is going to wait for the child thread to complete. There is another method called join, the same method, but it takes parameters. Here you can specify the number of milliseconds you want your thread to wait. So wait for a thread to die for a specified millisecond, which is going to stop its execution for this many milliseconds. There is another method called priority. So which is going to return, which is going to give you the priority of a thread. As I told before, every thread has got its own priority. If you want to know what is the priority of a current thread or your thread, we can make use of the method called get priority. Right? Now, so let us see a small program which extends the class called thread. We can find the class called multi. This extends the class called thread. So thread is a superclass, and we are going to override the run method. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to print a statement, nothing else. I just want to print thread is running. Now, as usual, I have to write my main method. So this is a main method where I've created an object of my own class, which is t1. Now using this object, I call the method called start. Now what happened? Start is going to call the run method. No place you can find a call to the run method. Please do remember start calls the run method. So what the run method is going to do, which is just going to print a message one time, and the message is thread is running. So this is the easiest way of creating a thread. Now let us see another example. So this is what another example where we have taken two classes. One is extend thread, and the first one is new thread. So we have taken two classes. Look at the next statement. So we can find new thread. So this is we are going to create. We are going to call the constructor of the other class. And what this is going to do? This is going to create a thread. Look at this super demo thread. So please do remember this is going to invoke the constructor in the super class. I hope you remember it. There is a method called super. Super is going to invoke the method, invoke the constructor in the super class. And now we are going to pass demo thread as the parameter, and I'm going to print a message called child thread this. So this is nothing but which indicate or which is a reference to the object which has invoked this method. We have seen this in many cases. So which is going to print what is the name of the child thread. And after this we have a start method. So we are not creating any object of the class, we call this directly. To take the previous case where we have implemented the interface called runnable, we call the start method using the object t dot start, but in this case we are not taking it. We call the start method directly. Start calls the run method where I'm going to print the numbers starting from 10 and which ends at 5. So in between your child thread is going to pause or stop its execution for this many nanoseconds. Once this is done, start calls the run method. What happened? The control goes back to the main method and the main program continues its execution, or we can say that it resumes. And what this is going to do? This is going to print the numbers ranging from 5 till greater than 0, that means till 1. So which is going to print the main thread, then this values, and child thread is going to print the values with a label child thread, and I varies from 5 to 10. So let us see the output for this. So this is going to give the same output as the previous one. This is going to give the same output as the previous one. So this is the output we can expect. So we have named it as demo thread, the main thread 5, then child thread, main, child thread, child thread. So we cannot guarantee what sequence this is going to get printed. So this varies